Well, a COVID-19 outbreak at Wayne Farms in Albertville is impacting hundreds of workers. At least 75 people are sick and one person is dead. Our Kelly Kennedy went to the facility today to find out more.
Hundreds of employees here at Wayne Farms in Albertville have been quarantined due to the outbreak, likely slowing production for a while. Spokesman for Wayne Farms, Frank Singleton, says they're now running a reduced schedule.
I don't think people are going to notice locally a tremendous impact from the Albertville plant, slowing production.
Clifford is the halal blesser at Wayne Farms. He believes the plant is following guidelines to keep employees safe.
I'm not worried because they've taken appropriate measures, and you can't account for what somebody does outside of your facility.
Right now, they're distancing employees and giving personal protection equipment to the workers.
Even the maintenance personnel are en masse now, whereas before, you might see them with it, you might see them without it.
Before employees enter the building, their temperatures are taken. If they have a temperature, they are sent home for 14 days.
We've installed those thermometers to do temperature sensor checks on people as they come in. We're having our occupational safety and health folks on the floor to monitor people for flu-like symptoms. We're offering people the opportunity to take leave if they're not comfortable.
Albertville Mayor Tracy Honey says the city is in contact with the plant and believes they're doing all they can to prevent the spread of the virus.
They're going above and beyond USDA, the health department standards that are being asked of them. They're putting in lots of different measures that hopefully will keep their employees safe.
The plant here in Albertville is still hiring. There are signs around the building encouraging people to apply. Putting the Valley first, Kelly Kennedy, WZDX News.